Hello there.
Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, what have we here?
Jedi, we've been expecting you.
Knew I could count on you.
Hello.
Welcome to the rebellion.
What fun!
Hey everyone, Hybrid here, and today I wanted to discuss something. I like these little discussion videos where I just jump on the mic and share a thought and interact with everyone in the chat, so hopefully y'all have been enjoying these as well. So, with a lot of people, if you ask them, what do you think the big flop in the Black Series has been? They're probably going to jump to carbonized or credit collection or holocom figures, and I totally understand why you would lean that way, but I have a little bit of a hot take stretch answer, and I want to share some of my thoughts. So I think one of the largest general disappointments with the Black Series is actually the roleplay line. This started way back in like 2015. It was The Force Awakens. Hasbro was like, hey, we need to call everything Star Wars the Black Series. Monopoly the Black Series. Life the Black Series. Toy lightsabers the Black Series. Helmets the Black Series. And initially, the notion of some of these helmets being available was very interesting to me. The Kylo Ren helmet was difficult to get, and I never saw it in person. But I remember the Imperial Stormtrooper helmet coming out for Rogue One. $100. It has a voice changer in it, which just makes you sound like you're talking into a fan. It does not make you sound like a stormtrooper. And it's an adult premium roleplay item that is designed using models from the Rogue One movie, and it's supposed to be this amazing premium thing. And I remember I saw one at Walmart and I bought it and I was so excited, and I got out to my truck in the parking lot. Didn't even go home. Opened the box, snapped all three pieces together, put it on. Couldn't put it any lower down my head than a ball cap. It does not fit the grown man head. I took it home. My mom and dad could not squeeze it on. My, at the time, little sister could get it on, and that was the only person in the house that could wear the thing. $100 premium roleplay for adults, my butt. And that has been the trend with a lot of these helmets. Now, I admit, I'm like super duper freaking smart, so like my head's a little bigger than most people. They haven't all been as bad as the Stormtrooper helmet. I think that is the tightest fit of all of them. Hasn't stopped them from repainting it like 5 different times, mind you. They have definitely upped the sizing on some of them. If I take the adjustable headband and like all the padding out of it, I can squeeze into the Clone Trooper helmet. So, and that's the thing, is like these things look nice generally, and they have nice shelf presence. I know a lot of people buy a lot of these helmets and just stick them on the shelf. But my thing is, like, I would also like to be able to just, on a whim, go grab it and pop it on for a couple of seconds. There's only so many things you can do with a helmet. You can either set it down or you can wear it. There's 2 functions, and I cannot do one of the 2 functions for the majority of these helmets, and it makes me very sad. The other thing that I am just generally frustrated by is their insistence on making every single one of these dang things electronic. And some of them are just blatantly ridiculous. I look like ones like the Stranger's helmet from the Acolyte, which looks beautiful, and the Moff Gideon helmet from Season 3. And you're like, man, they're electronic. How are these things electronic? And then you start digging in and you realize that they put a little LED inside of the helmet where no one's ever gonna see it. And I'm like, really? Like, forget that. Cut the electronics. Make it a basic bucket for like $70, and we can talk. Like you're just saying, Hasbro, you are insisting on slapping a AAA battery in there so you can say it's electronic, extra $50, please. And these things are always on sale. You always see them, $10, $20, $30 off, sometimes even more. Not even worth repainting an X-Wing pilot helmet. They always show up at Ollie's. Like, Sabine Wren helmets, showing up at Ross for $25. These helmets just they look good, but like, and again, we get bombarded with them too. You get like 3 or 4 of them a year, and again, I can't wear half of them. It just doesn't do it for me. You know, I don't generally like being a complainer. I know a lot of the videos recently have kind of been that way, but I've just kind of been on a tangent. There's things that I've kind of been bottling up for a while. And that is only half of it, because the other half then is the lightsaber line. And I gotta be honest, not super tickled on those either. So when it comes to my lightsabers, I am a bit of a prop snob. I like getting the details right on these lightsaber hilts. And because of Hasbro's insistence on not labeling them as only for adults because they're a toy company, they have to tweak these things and make them robust and playable. That way the children can play with them too, even though who's buying their kids a $275 lightsaber? And I look at things like the Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsabers, the Luke Skywalker lightsabers that have that thin neck emitter, and they make them so gosh darn chunky because you got to be able to thicken it up so you can duel with it, even though they also tell you that you can't really duel with them because you'll start breaking LEDs in the blades. Light taps only. And you might be like, well, yeah, like that's kind of like a skinny, thin neck emitter. You wouldn't like want to hurt it or anything. But then I look at all of these NeoPixel companies out there. You got your Rebel Sabers is a great one. Friends we've made at ICCC over the years, and you can get a NeoPixel lightsaber that's got the thin neck emitter and they're dual worthy. You can go and duel your friends with them and wail on them, and they are a-okay. And they're more prop accurate, and the LEDs are better, and the motion response is better, and they are so much brighter and so much louder. And man, you turn your hand a little bit and you get a little lightsaber noise, but like the Force Effects lightsabers, you sit there and you flop it around a bunch, and then finally you get a super limp whomp, like you finally get a noise. It's just they really have not impressed me. When you start getting into that nearly $300 price point on the Force Effects lightsabers, you really need to be impressive. And they did not start out that way. When they brought the Force Effects lightsabers back, they were reissuing old ones from the early 2000s with some modern soundboards and better LEDs, but they didn't feature the removable blades. They didn't feature the tip drag and stuff. But they were like $120, and at least it felt like a middle ground option. Like, hey, not as good as a NeoPixel. You're saving $100 though. Like, maybe we could talk about those. But then they're like, well, let's make the blade removable and give you a tip drag. $200 extra, please. Like, what? Are you kidding me? These offer such little value. I am not a fan of the Force Effects lightsabers at all. There have been several of them that kind of feel incomplete in a way. I think mostly with Ahsoka, truthfully, is where I go at that. The Clone Wars Ahsoka lightsaber, nice looking lightsaber, but then it has that like turn to blue feature so that then it can be like your Clone Wars Season 7 Ahsoka because it was the same hilt with the blue blade. But like, where's her Shoto? Like, either make it a bigger deluxe pack and give me the complete package here, or don't offer it at all. And then the same with the Ahsoka series. They gave the live-action Ahsoka lightsaber, the main lightsaber got made, but her Shoto did not get made. It's incomplete. And truthfully, it's like, I don't want either of them if you're only going to make one. Like, I want the set or none at all. And then again, you can go on some of these sites and get like the pair of NeoPixels for the same price as the Force Effects, and well, it doesn't come with a stand. Whatever. Like, really? I don't know. Am I being like too snobby here on these? I think that you go to these NeoPixel lightsabers, you get a much better product. Might not be licensed. Who cares? Go to a Comic-Con, find a lightsaber vendor. You're going to spend the same money or less, get a much more accurate lightsaber with much cooler features, and you're going to be incredibly happy. And then, again, I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, I'm just not super impressed by these roleplay items. And so, maybe they need to do something innovative. Well, What about half scale helmets? Forget it. I'm not even going to go down that road. These, the Black Series certainly, absolutely can sell miniaturized helmets, right? Though that's never been a bad idea. Those have never peg warmed for years and years and still sit on certain Walgreens shelves to date. Those are gonna make you a ton of enjoy all that money that you're thinking that you're gonna make with that Hasbro. Good work. Anything to not give us, like just a better lightsaber or a more budget friendly helmet line that don't have these LEDs inside that you can't see and offer zero value. I don't know. They're laughable. I don't like the role play line. It doesn't offer a lot for me. Do you buy any of these? Am I completely waffling here? I know some people that have gone crazy on the helmets, and I tell you, it's a nice display. They do look nice. But I really think that they are really trying to grab at every penny they can get with these helmets, and just so many of them go on sale. And again, like, these things wouldn't be going on sale all the time if you weren't trying to make every single one of them 110, 120, $130. The Stranger's helmet from the Acolyte just doesn't need electronics, and neither does the Moff Gideon helmet. And if the only electronic you can offer is a voice changer, don't do it, because it's not going to make you sound like the character. Like, it just will not. So anyway, that's what I got to say. I'm not in love with these. I do not pick these things up basically ever. So yeah, I'm pretty out of the game on this part of the Black Series itself. Let me know if you're into these. Not knocking it if you are, just not for me in any way. Anyways, I'm going to go work on something else now. Thanks for listening to a collector ramble and, in this case, bitch and complain for like 10 minutes. May the Force be with you. I will catch you next time, and hopefully we can get something really cool from the Black Series other than these.